Hey, what's going on, everybody? Um, just trying to get a couple things straight here. So this is I've been using Restream for my live stream stuff, but now, but I've been kind of going around about ways to use it. But I figured I'd go ahead and just use it straight out of the gate instead of trying to mess around with a different program and possibly losing what was kind of going on. So I don't know how this sounds. I don't know anything like that. I'm going to check it really quick on Facebook, check out what it sounds like. But welcome to my stream. I really can't. I can definitely see. Like if you want to chat with me or anything like that, I'm here. If you comment on Facebook, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and whatever platform you're watching, I'm going to see your comment or whatever, and I'll be able to respond. But I wanted to take this time and just kind of, I've done this before. I've done kind of this redux, however you want to pronounce it, of my podcast, mattnews.biz, because, I get busy, because what I try to do is I try to just get stuff going. I try to just have stuff. Hold on, let's see if this is working. Just trying to get a couple things. Hey, it sounds pretty good. All right, but anyways, hold on, stop talking because you're messing me up. Anyways, so I've redone the podcast once before, but it was because like a heart change kind of thing. And so then the format kind of changed from being this, I'm interviewing people, just trying to get new points of view, stuff like that. Really playing off of the title mattnews.biz because I really wanted to be informed on things that I was talking about. So then what I ended up doing is, this heart change kind of really focused me back on my faith and talking about my faith. And so I really didn't interview too many people at all. Like I think I may have interviewed one, and his name was Ken Mady. So I want to kind of go back to the old format where I'm interviewing people and just kind of helping get other opinions and help shaping my view on things. I want to continue doing the my Bible studies as well, my weekly Bible studies. I thought that was really cool. But again, like what I was saying before is, why did these things stop? Well, it stopped just because, life kind of happened, and everything got hectic. Really started to, really started to busy myself up because I'm trying to make money. And doing this kind of stuff really doesn't make money. And so, trying to focus on other things, making videos and so on and so forth. But this is really what I love to do. Like I like filmmaking. I like doing those kind of things, but you need a lot of money to do that kind of stuff. And so you end up working on other people's projects a lot of time to help make ends meet. However, what I want to do is this kind of stuff kind of feeds my soul in the in-between. Sharing my beliefs and my opinions. I remember growing up, you heard this saying. My family never said it because they didn't care. They didn't give a crap. But you hear this saying a lot of times growing up is, you don't talk about religion, politics, or how much money you make, because it's rude. And those are the things I love talking about. And I think those are the things that everybody loves talking about, but they just don't do it. So that's kind of what mattnews.biz really kind of aims to be. That's what I want. I want to talk about all of those things. I want to talk about religion, most of all. I want to talk about politics. I have a very specific political view. And I know that a lot of other people don't share it, but I think if I was able to have conversations with people and just share ideas, that maybe we would feel more open to talk about these things, especially with the upcoming election. And also, money's not so much. Money, I'd love to talk to entrepreneurs and things like that, and how they make their money, I think that would be great. But I want to go more into the interview format again because I felt like it's kind of where I shined. Also, too, what I want to do is I'm going to interview people, and I want to do it this way. I'm going to live stream it on Facebook and on YouTube, and also on Twitch. And what I want those things to be is I'm thinking about trying to pick one specific day a week, do a weekly interview. That's what I'd like to do. And even if I have to bring on the same people over and over and over again because they're the only people I can get on a weekly basis, I'm totally fine with that. But I want to do that every Tuesday. I'm thinking every Tuesday, probably around 8 o'clock at night, because one, they're busy, and so I want to give them time to do all their stuff throughout the week. But anyways, I'll do a live stream, so you can you log on Facebook, log on YouTube, whatever the specific platform you like to watch stuff on. That's what I want to do. I'm going to interview them live stream, so you can watch it live. You can even ask questions live, and then what I'll do is I'll take that audio, strip it down, and put it on my podcast, so that if you don't get a chance to watch or anything like that, you can watch later, of course, because it's going to be on YouTube. But you'll be able to listen to it while you're driving or something, so on and so forth. But I also want to just kind of reach out with that platform, because again, talking really, talking and sharing ideas it feeds my soul. So that's kind of what this whole video, this live stream is about, because I want to make sure that I'm letting people know what's going on, so that I can build that audience. Because one thing that's hard to do is it's hard to take the time out of your day and plan these things, extensively without somebody else in the picture doing that for you. It's hard to be the voice. I'm helping a guy out with his radio show, and and his, he does interviews as well. But like, for him to plan it, it's a full-time gig for him to plan it, to try to get sponsors, to write articles as well, and then also host the show. That's a lot. Like, I understand that would be a lot. That's why I want to go to this simpler format where I stream it, then I strip the audio. I don't have to worry so much about, anything else. I don't have to write a script. That was one thing that was really bogging me down with my podcast. The first time was just like, or the second time, the first redo was because I was trying to make sure that I was writing coherent thoughts, and that I was making points, and that I was trying to bring something new out. But I'm just much more of a conversationalist. I like to talk more with another party, there. And so that's kind of what I was doing. So that's pretty much it. I want to let you guys know so tomorrow is going to be kind of the first episode of coming back to mattnews.biz. I think it's been almost a year since the last one I did. I want to say it's been a while. It's been a while since the last episode I put out. But I'm going to be interviewing the same guy I interviewed last time. His name is Ken Mady, and he has his own podcast. He actually has 3 podcasts that he's kind of working on right now. But we're going to talk about something very interesting, and I hope that you guys will find that interesting as well. Again, you guys know that faith is probably one of my biggest talking points. I kind of want to equal that out a little bit with other stuff as well, because I know that just talking about faith alone gets kind of cumbersome, for people who aren't into it as much as I am. I can talk about it all the time. But and so what we're going to be talking about is a subject matter called eschatology. If you're not a theologian and you don't know what that is, eschatology is just simply the study of the end times, or like gaining understanding of the end times. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. That's going to be at 8 o'clock at night. I'm going to be streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So whatever platform you decide you want to watch, you can do that. I actually have a link I think it's in this bio. I know it's on my Instagram. You can actually, it has all my links on there. So if you don't know how to get to one of them, there you go. But I'm sure if you know how to get to Instagram and you know how to get to Facebook, you're going to know how to get to all the other places I'm naming. But anyways, so we're going to be talking about eschatology. We're going to be more specifically talking about Daniel and Daniel's 70 weeks. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow at 8 p.m. I want to invite you out to watch that. We're going to be talking for, I'm assuming we're going to be talking for an hour or so, maybe a little bit more, but an hour at least. And we're just going to be diving deep into what Daniel's 70 weeks, which is found in Daniel chapter 9 in the Bible, what it says, why it's important to eschatology, and also why is it such a big controversial subject. So that we're going to be talking about that. And so I really hope that you join me tomorrow at 8 p.m. In that. You can actually, if you don't know how to get to any of these platforms, you're on Facebook, you should know how to get to that platform. But if you don't know how to get to Facebook or anything like that, you can literally just type in mattnews.biz on your browser and it'll take you straight to my Facebook page. All of my streams are going to be public, so anybody will be able to get to them. You don't have to be one of my friends to get to it. That's fine. So that's it. A couple other things I kind of want to try to do. I don't know if it'll work out. This is kind of my main thing. I want to bring back mattnews.biz in full force. But a couple other things I might try to do is just really, really fun stuff. I'm not going to make it as big. I try to advertise as much as I do this, as much as I will mattnews.biz. But hopefully this will take off. That's what I'm hoping. I'm just hoping that this will make people think. What's kind of your goal here, Matt? I want people to think about things that they don't normally think about. I want people to think about, because one thing I do want is for people who are in the church to think a little bit more deeply about their own faith, because one of the podcasts I do listen to is actually an atheist podcast, and if you don't know what that atheist experience is what the podcast is called, and they actually have callers call in and they almost debate with them live. And it's very interesting. And it's very interesting how many Christians don't know a whole lot about their faith, and how many theists out there. And theists is just a term used for people who believe in some sort of God or gods. But how many people don't know anything about their faith? But also, too, how many people don't dig their heels in themselves? I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine, and this actually kind of is one of the things that spurred the original incarnation of mattnews.biz, which was this idea of struggling with your faith, and we talked about how the name Israel, it was given to Jacob. This name Israel was given to him when he took God on as his God. And he also, the story goes that Jacob is wrestling with an angel, and that turns out to be an angel, the angel of the Lord, which some scholars, some Christians believe is the first incarnation of God himself, or Jesus. It's a Christophany is what it would be called in the Old Testament. It was Jesus in the Old Testament. And so this angel wins the wrestling match and gives Jacob the name Israel. And Israel, sometimes it's translated, in different ways, but the one I know the most is one who wrestles with God. And so you have this entire nation of people that is named Israel, and they're, and one of the things that, a lot of, if you've ever gone to church, one of the big things they like to hammer down on is the Pharisees, the old Jewish people. They would debate about God all the time, and you might even hear some people say, well, don't go into foolish debates. But my thing is, and what my heart is kind of like, Christians need to wrestle with their beliefs from time to time, Because if they're not doing that, then they're kind of stale, right? They're kind of they're just stuck in the things that they've believed previously, or things that have just been taught to them and they've never been taught differently. So that's kind of what I want this to be. What's up, Adam? Actually, Adam is a super awesome guy. Here, hold on a second. Let's see. It says they definitely wrestled with God as people over the generations. Absolutely, absolutely. That's an awesome feature of Restream. That's why I'm going to be just going straight from here. But yes, so the people of Israel, if you know the stories, it's cyclical, man. Like they're constantly going up against God. If you read anything in Exodus, even just simply Adam and Eve, just read the very first story. They're wrestling with God. They're wrestling to be able to define. That is pretty awesome, Adam. Yeah, bro, I need to talk to you about coming on mattnews.biz and talking some scripture with me, bro. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. But the people of Israel are always in this kind of back and forth with God constantly. And God's always trying to redeem them. But the story of the Bible, and that's one thing that too is I think that the story of the Bible is taken for granted so much. I actually did a podcast on this personally, but again, it was so cumbersome because I had to write it out. I wanted to make sure I wrote it out and everything like that. But I really would have loved to have had a conversation with somebody. But the way that I viewed the Bible was these three different ways. Like the first way I did it was you have your basic instructions before leaving Earth. So it was like this instruction manual, like a Haynes or a Chilton's manual. If something's broke, you go to the manual to fix it. But that's not how you're supposed to read the Bible. I also, before I was a Christian, I thought it was like a spell book. You would read out of it and then things would just kind of manifest themselves, like a spell book. And that's not how you're supposed to read the Bible either. And so now I have this view. Hold on a second. So now I have this view that the Bible is a narrative, and that's the way it is. It's this story that's moving forward, and I think a lot of Christians miss that because what they want nuggets, they want things that they can throw at people in debates, and there's no real understanding. But again, they're not taking the time to wrestle with the scriptures and wrestle with their points of views. So that's I want to explore that as well. But I also, again, I want to explore that. That's like my religious talk, my faith talk. But I want to talk about my political views as well. I'll probably be a little bit more eggshelly with that, just because that's a hot topic. It's a hot topic, and there's so many landmines that you got to navigate through. But what I'm hoping is that the way that I talk about it, you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from. But and that's the thing. It's so funny. It's so funny. I'm saying I want to be eggshelly because, like, I'm, a lot of people tell me I'm very controversial on Facebook, and even talking face to face. I'm controversial or like to butt heads with people. I would simply just say you don't know a lot of the people that I know. You don't know a lot of the people that I know who are a lot more confrontational than I am. So I just want to kind of rein that back for myself and get into those political discussions and talk a little bit about that. But I feel like I'm rambling on and on and on. What I want you to know, this is the point. TLDR. This is it right here. If this is too long and you're just kind of tuning me out, this is what I want you to get out of it. And then we'll kind of close up here. Tomorrow, I'm kind of relaunching mattnews.biz. This is kind of my second relaunch, and hopefully it's the final relaunch. And I want this to be the relaunch that will, kind of solidify an audience base. I'm going to talk about controversial topics. I'm going to talk, hopefully about things that you've never heard before, and I want to relaunch mattnews.biz as this place where ideas are shared. They're not, I'm not going to I'm not going to only share one point of view. I want to share multiple point of views, and I want to give them to you so that you can wrestle with them on your own. That's what I want to do. And hopefully also with this, my journey of wrestling will be public, because that's one thing. I don't want to hide my journey. I want people to know what I'm going through. I want people to see what I'm, not necessarily struggling with, but what I'm wrestling with and earnestly seeking after truth. Adam says this. He says, gospel's always primary over politics, but there's no reason not to wrestle with how we understand politics in light of our faith. And that is absolutely true. And that's one of the things that I wrestle with as well. I wrestle with, how can we reconcile politics with faith? And I want to actually have a couple of friends on. Adam would be a great guy to have on as well, who have kind of, because you get caught up in the politics of now, the politics of this world. And you kind of, well, am I a Republican? Am I a Democrat? Am I a libertarian? Do I believe in capitalism or communism? Do I believe in, socialism? What do I believe politically? And one of the things that America, we never bring up is monarchism, but as a Christian, it's so much easier to bring up that with other Christians because, in our view, there's only one king, and that's Christ. And so what we are, and I had this conversation with a friend. I would love to have him on, but I want to talk to him about, how can we live as what was his kind of monarchists in waiting. We believe in a monarchy, and so we're just kind of waiting to become subjects in this, future monarchy. And I want to talk about that and how can we navigate current politics with that point of view as well, because that's one thing as we live in this world. How can we reconcile politics and reconcile the way that this world works right now with, our view of God, our view of faith, religion, the Gospels? How can we do that? How can we reconcile this? So, sweet, Adam. I'm gonna have you on. Adam just said, we're gonna schedule it with him, so that'd be awesome. So tomorrow, 8 p.m., I'm gonna have Ken Mady on. Ken Mady, he is a pastor. He is, I say he's a theologian, and we're gonna talk a little bit about eschatology because he is actually growing in his eschatological view. He I don't want to share too much, but we're going to talk about Daniel in the 70 weeks, and we're going to talk about his eschatological view, his previous eschatological view, and how he's reconciling the two, if not completely dismissing the former for the new that he is going through. So we're going to talk about that. That's 8 p.m. tomorrow is when we're going to live stream it. But if you miss it, don't worry, because it will be on YouTube, and it will also be on my podcast, mattnews.biz. So I hope you guys join me in this journey. I'm going to try to make this a regular thing, Tuesdays. I'm hoping to do interviews, and sometime throughout the week, I'll probably announce that soon. I'm looking at Thursdays, because Thursdays are usually my least busy day. But Thursdays, I'm looking at bringing back my Bible study and really diving in deep with that. So, guys, join me tomorrow, 8 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitch. Love you guys, and see you later.